Hey guys, today I'm going to be breaking down the different types of girls you're going to find working here in the nightlife in Thailand. Now this isn't a guide to dating or a deep dive into nightlife here. Rather, it's a general breakdown of the different types of girls you're going to see working here and what their roles are. Now I did own a bar here, so I have worked with several of these different types of girls before, so let's get into it. First up, we have bar girls. Now these girls work in lady bars, and they're probably the most common. Their role is to get customers to come into their bar as well as buy them drinks. Now they want the customer to buy drinks for themselves as well, but the lady drinks are more expensive, and so that's really the goal of the bar girl. Now she does this by playing games, flirting, and having a conversation with the guy. But don't be fooled, these girls are pros. They are very good at getting drinks out of guys because they do it every day. That's how they make the majority of their money as well. So they really are incentivized to get drinks from customers. And so by that I mean, these girls make maybe 6,000 to 10,000 baht a month in salary. Yes, some places are more. Here in Chiang Mai, that was kind of the average. Now we were above that at 15,000, but I'm not going to get into that again. So the vast majority of their money comes from lady drinks. That's where they make the most of their money. Now if you are going to buy a girl a lady drink, they are going to be more money than if you bought yourself a drink. These drinks are split with the bar and with the girl. So they can be anywhere from 180 baht for a lady drink, where the girl gets 100 and the bar gets 80, or 150, 160 for a lady drink, where the girl gets 50 even. So it really depends on the bar. Now these girls do as well bar fine. It's not as common up here in Chiang Mai as it is down south, but it does still happen. Now it really is a case-by-case basis whether or not that girl will go. As well, sometimes the mama-san or the manager may not want that girl to go. You know, we don't have as many girls working in each bar up here as they do down south. And so a lot of the times if it's busy, a manager just can't justify losing a girl for a couple hours or the rest of the night. And so they won't let the girl be bar fined. So definitely is a conversation that you have to have right off the bat, if that's something that you're interested in. Now with a bar fine, it is variable bar to bar, but up here it's 500 baht. In most cases, as far as I know anyways, it is split 50-50. So the bar gets half and the girl gets half. Next is going to be promo girls. Now promo girls work in various industries all over the cities. They are not tied to even bars. They work at restaurants, they work at promotional events, they work at conferences, they work really anything. They'll put an ad up on Facebook or other sites where they'll put pictures of themselves and when they're available to work, and you can call them to book them to work at your establishment. By and large, they're around 500 baht. At least the ones that we hired were around 500 baht a day. Now, these girls are not used to working in the lady bars. They don't really get hired to work in the lady bars all that often. And so that was one of the problems we ran into, but that's neither here nor there. I'm not going to get into that again. But they'll work for a set period of time. So they'll book a job for 2 weeks or a month or however long, and then they'll move on to the next gig. So they are not going to be a full-time employee. They're going to be a temporary employee. Now underneath that is going to be a beer girl. Now beer girls get hired on by the beer companies to either go around to different bars in the area to advertise whatever beer they're selling. Or I do know that if you do work something out with your distributor, your beer distributor for a specific company, and you order enough that month, they will give you a girl or more to work in your bar, and the beer company itself will actually pay their salary. So that is something, but again, they're not going to be working in lady bars. They're mainly working in Thai bars in that situation. Then you get freelancers. Now these girls are not tied to a specific bar. They really set their own schedule and work when and where they want. Now these are not as common up here in Chiang Mai, but they are very common down south. Now again, they do not work for a bar, they do not get a salary at a bar, but if they do go to a bar and get a lady drink, then they still get a percentage of that. They still get whatever share that bar gives out. They obviously can be bar fined and taken out of the bar, and that is where the vast majority of their money comes from. Now again, this is on a person-by-person basis, and honestly, it's not always that easy to figure out if a girl works for the bar full-time or is a freelancer. In some cases it is, but by and large, it's not that easy. But these girls can still earn a lot of money. It just really depends on how much they're wanting to work. Now, of course, you're going to have the online and out of the bar freelancers, but that's an entirely different ballgame and not really something that I want to get into. Now on to GoGo Girls. These girls work in GoGo bars and they dance in these bars. They are scheduled to dance on stage and get tips while they do so. Now, they do still sit with customers as long as the customer is buying a drink. If you're gonna go to these bars, you're gonna have to buy a drink for yourself. You're not allowed to be just a looky-loo and go to the bar and just watch. You're gonna have to at least buy a drink, and drinks are gonna be more expensive than at the lady bars or at the Thai bars. So they are gonna be more expensive. But if you do go there and you do buy a girl a drink, she will come and sit with you, and she may sit with you, and you could potentially even bar fine her. That really still does depend on her and the bar itself, but that is a possibility. These bars can rack up quite a bit of money on your bill though. It gets expensive quick, and the girl is gonna want you to be buying drinks for her friends and for the mama-san or manager as well. So do be mindful of that if you do go to one of these. Now, these girls make a salary more than what a bar girl would make. They also get tips from when they dance, if guys give them tips, the lady drink portion, and if they do bar fine. So they can make a good amount of money. Now, there are no Go-Go's up in Chiang Mai, so I'm really not as familiar with them as I am with the lady bars. Next is going to be the Coyotes. Coyotes are very similar to Go-Go Girls, but a Coyote will book a gig to work at a bar or promotional event for a few hours. Now, when we had Coyotes come to our bar, we got them and we'd book them for the night, and it'd be like 1,000 baht, and they would dance 4 or 5 times over the course of several hours. They would have outfit changes, and they'd bring their manager, and I think we'd give them 1 free drink. The only thing that we had an issue with was that it was very hard to get just one Coyote to come. They wanted to have their friend come too, another dancer. And so a lot of times we'd have to hire 2 Coyotes if we wanted to get anybody for that night. Now, these girls can get lady drinks. It's not as common, but you're more than welcome to buy them lady drinks. They'll usually come with a boyfriend or a friend, so bar fines are really off the table. But that is mainly their job. They can make good money as they can book many gigs in the day, and they do make a decent amount of money for dancing for a couple hours. The last one, and the one I really know next to nothing about, is Karaoke Girls. Now, Karaoke Girls obviously work in a karaoke bar. Now, I don't honestly go to karaoke bars, as they do have a really bad reputation and are largely aimed at, and so I'm sorry, but I really don't know all that much about them, as I'm really concerned about going to a karaoke bar because you just hear so many horror stories. Now, I hope that answered any questions you have about the different types of girls you're going to run into while out in a bar here in Chiang Mai or in Thailand in general. If you do have any questions at all, please leave it in the comments below. Cheers.